Today we're going to be discussing attunement a little bit more. If you remember my last video, I talked about and even defined the concept of what Dr. Siegel calls attunement. Attunement is when we allow the internal state of ourselves to shift and resonate with the internal state of our partner. It is a journey to empathy. It is a way of connecting with our partner that is off the chart effective. It is incredibly important that you understand attunement is not abandoning ourselves. Sometimes we can think, Sam, if I'm focused on the internal state of another and continually fixating on that, am I codependent? Absolutely not. That is a totally different concept that I won't necessarily go into, but I'm not dependent on them when I'm attuned to them. When I'm attuned to my partner, I'm connected. I'm resonating with them. I'm even anticipating what they are struggling with. I'm also in touch with what they're struggling with because I've been communicating with them. I've been talking with them. I've been listening to them. Remember, listening is first to understand, not to be understood. And I know, I just said that, and you probably said, that's hard as hell, Samuel. You're exactly right. That's why so few people listen with wonderful skills of understanding and compassion. When we endeavor to be attuned to our partner, there are several factors that must be there. There has to be compassion. You're not going to be attuned to someone that you don't have compassion for. There also has to be genuine interest. And if you don't have an interest in the well-being of your partner, it's going to be incredibly challenging to be attuned to them. It's also going to take selflessness. If you're just focused on yourself, if you're enamored with just your own pain, for example, as unfaithful, we can be so caught up in what we have lost. We may have lost a job. We may have lost relationships, including the affair partner or friends in our lives that after getting the knowledge of our infidelity have abandoned us. We can be caught up in the pain that we have caused other people, especially our spouse, or maybe the affair partner or the affair partner's family. But what's so depressingly interesting is we can be so caught up in our own losses, but not connected to the losses that our betrayed partner is experiencing. It becomes so disheartening. It becomes so painful. It becomes incredibly wounding to our betrayed partner when we're caught up in the losses of everybody else but them. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole as to why that happens, but one of the main reasons that it happens is because we, the unfaithful, are so full of resentment, so full of anger, so full of unmet needs that we can in many ways be blind to the pain our betrayed partner is in. What's necessary, yes, is expert help, yes, doing the things that we talk about all the time, but moving towards a place of attunement. Because when there is a lack of attunement, the relationship is incredibly vulnerable. It's certainly not very fun, and you are reduced to feeling like mere roommates. What's vital to understand is this: when the relationship suffers from lack of attunement, it's a recipe for disaster. And as much as attunement can be a game changer, so can lack of attunement. Lack of attunement can put the relationship in such a vulnerable place that it can feel like there's almost no way back. Now, obviously, when there's been infidelity or addiction, and then there's the lack of attunement, you can find yourself swallowed up in this hole of hopelessness and despair. And one of the best ways out of that hole is to practice attunement. Let me give you some understanding of what lack of attunement looks like. When there's lack of attunement, you're incredibly disconnected. You feel like you're in your world, I'm in my world, we're a million miles apart, and there's no way to bridge the gap. Lack of attunement can produce in both partners, unfaithful or betrayed, an immense sense of abandonment. We can feel abandoned in our pain, abandoned in our devastation. Who is the person that we need to feel least abandoned by? That's our partner, that's our spouse. And if there's been infidelity, the betrayed already feels incredibly abandoned, not only abandoned, but rejected. And when there's a lack of attunement, rejection seeps in. Even if you are the unfaithful, you can feel rejected. There can be this pothole inside of you that at any inclination of rejection, it's like the bottom falls out of your life. If you're a betrayed, you already feel rejected. And then when the unfaithful has the audacity to not try and connect with you, be empathetic and be attuned to your pain, when they refuse to resonate with what's going on inside of you, you absolutely feel rejected, abandoned, and left for dead. Lack of attunement can also produce this weird feeling of, I'm yearning for you to connect with me, but I feel immense resentment towards you because you've rejected me and abandoned me. The good news of that is there is a yearning to feel empathy and connection. There is a yearning to feel that you care about me and my pain. Even though I'm angry at you, even though I have incredible resentment towards you, in fact, I might even struggle with hating you, when you decide to try and become more attached to me, man, I let my guard down. I become slowly but surely open to connecting. If you're an unfaithful spouse, one of the worst things that you can do is consider telling your spouse, get over it and move on. Ultimately, my friends, when lack of attunement is allowed to reign in the relationship, there is a loss of vision, there is a loss of desire, and you begin to float through life hopeless and despairing. And that feeling is awful. But I will tell you, whether you're unfaithful or whether you're betrayed, if you can learn from this, and if you can begin to intentionally start to focus on moving yourself to resonate with your partner, it can absolutely change the entire face of your repair work. Now, I understand, and I'm going to throw out a big disclaimer here. If you're a betrayed spouse, it would be very easy for you right now to go, Sam, listen, hold on. I'm the betrayed. I'm incredibly hurt, and my life has been wrecked by the selfishness of my unfaithful partner. How can you expect me to just jump into the boat of attunement with this person? And that's a great question, and I'll tell you, I'm not expecting that. It's going to take more time probably for you, betrayed, to get there. And to think that you're just going to shift, hey, I'm ready to be attunement man or attunement girl. No, that's unrealistic. But you can get there slowly but surely, and it's probably going to take safety on the part of the unfaithful to help you get to the point of wanting to become more attuned. But I have to just appeal to you that eventually you're going to have to be willing to become more attuned to the journey of your unfaithful, their hurts, their pains, their rejections, their wounds, what's going on inside of them. It doesn't excuse the infidelity, and it doesn't mean that you're responsible for their choices. No, no, no. But it is a pathway to recovery that is essential that one day you get there. I don't know when you'll get there. I plead with you to get there, but it will take time. And it will take work, and it will take patience on behalf of the unfaithful with you. But I promise you, you can get there. I promise you, it will help you, even though it seems somewhat impossible. As I leave you today, I want to challenge you to practice this concept. It will take you being intentional, whether you're unfaithful or betrayed. You're going to have to probably forgive some things. You're probably going to have to put some things on the back burner. But I promise you, attunement will move you closer, will move you down the timeline, and will change not just your own life, but will change your partner's life. I know it's tough, but just because it's tough doesn't mean we can't do it. And if we can do this, I promise you, it will bring relief and it will bring healing.